Hello everyone, I'm joined today by my friend Cspyder Liam. You should check his channel out when you have time. But what we're talking about today is very similar to a video I did a couple days ago where I talked with Granny Toes, whose actual name is Zach, about a misprint where the first 30 pages of a Stephen King book were in Jedi Search by Kevin J. Anderson. And we're talking about another misprint here today, but a misprint of the cover where it's like two books got shoved together, two different editions. And that book is Shatterpoint, and Liam has a copy, and he messaged me about it. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen that before. So thought we'd make a video about it.
Yeah, this thing is, wow, it's really interesting because a lot of Disney has this thing where a lot of the times they don't reprint stuff with Legends banners. It's kind of weird, but this time it's kind of like a vice versa of that situation. Because on the front here, you have the Legends banner, right? But on the back, you notice no Disney logo at all. Oh goodness, I'm covering it. There we go. Yeah, you see LucasBooks right there.
Yep. Bottom corner.
Oh yeah, the whole back is normal, but like the spine and the front and everything, it's all Legends banner, which is so weird.
Is it the new Del Rey logo on the spine?
Yes, it does have the new Del Rey logo as well.
Crazy. That means that the LucasBooks logo should definitely not be in that bottom left corner.
I know, right?
That cover.
Why is it there? It doesn't make any sense. And on the inside, what's even crazier is it says copyright 2003.
Yeah, which usually is revised to on the inside say copyright 2014 for all the Legends banner reprints, because it's like the new date that's given to it where it was revised. So the interior is a original. The back cover is the original with the LucasBooks logo, which has not been used in Star Wars books since the early 2000s anyway. So they switched from using that. So that's there too, which shouldn't be there. And then the back doesn't have the Disney logo like all Legends banner reprints have.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy.
It is the most shocking thing I've ever seen. I've never seen any other Legends book like this. And like even on some of the reprints where there's no Legends banners on them, you'll notice on the inside it still does say the Star Wars Legends novel timeline.
Yeah.
Like on this Knight Errant book, for example. But on the inside, when I go in here, when I go to the timeline, it doesn't say Legends. It says the Star Wars novels timeline.
Not the Star Wars Legend timeline. Interesting. Does it have
has all the ebooks and everything too?
It has books released after Shatterpoint, like Fate of the Jedi?
Let me check here. It does. It actually does.
So it has the current timeline, but instead of saying Legends, it says Star Wars novels. This is going to confuse people. People who don't know like what's what are going to be like, what's canon, what's Legends, what is going on here?
Because it's also original print, right? But at the same time, if this is supposed to be original print, what's with Fate of the Jedi? That all that stuff wasn't out yet, but it still has the Star Wars novel timeline. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense,
Does it say Disney anywhere on the interior of the book? Because it should say it on the back bottom of the Legends banner reprint. Because Legends reprints have the Disney logo on the back cover of the book, and usually on the inside as well.
I'm not seeing it anywhere. I'm just seeing LucasBooks, Del Rey. No Disney anywhere.
So it's pretty much like an old book, but then the spine and the cover are Legends, but then the inside timeline has stuff that shouldn't be there. It's kind of wild. It's a mixed up assortment.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do you imagine that there's probably other prints of this out there, or do you think this is a one-off error?
I'm wondering if there are other prints like this. I think I don't know. I feel like considering how much they mess up their stuff all the time, like with this. Whenever I go to Books and Millions, I always see knight errants like this. It's even on the cover of Knight Errant. It's not like this one where the Star
Yeah.
Wars logo isn't like. I don't know what the word is for it. I'm
It's
blanking.
like popped out on the older volumes.
Yeah, but
Like if you open up the interior, there will be like an indentation because it's like stamped.
yeah. So I'm not sure what this is about. I'm really curious to see if anybody else has a copy like this, because I don't know. Disney is kind of weird like that. They have a lot of inconsistencies, so I don't know if this is just a one-off thing or if maybe there are other copies of Shatterpoint out there like this. That'd be really interesting to find out.
Or even other books as well that have no
Yes.
Disney logo, a Legends banner, and a LucasBooks logo. Maybe there's some others. I just don't understand how mixed up your PDF files would have to get to accidentally print this book with a mixed mosh of different things from the different volumes all in one.
Something that we need to do at the end of this video, something you should edit on at the end. You need to look up like who is in charge of reprinting the Disney books.
I'll look into
who's
it.
responsible.
Figure out who slapped his face off the keyboard a couple times.
I think he went a little crazy. He was like, I don't know what's canon, what's Legends. It's like it gets so confusing for new EU fans. It's already bad enough when you have the canon books with no Legends banners, and you got stuff like this. And then you have stuff like this where it's just like it's half Legends, half original print.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
And the YouTuber Dylan has talked about this as well. Who has the channel name of like DAC301. He's talked about how for new Star Wars fans, it's really hard to enter when you don't know what's what, because Star Wars Essential Legends collections don't have the Legends timeline in them. And in the back, they advertise High Republic. So it's like super hard for people to try to figure out where to begin. And now with, like you're saying, some books have the Legends banner, Knight Errant doesn't. And then now like Lucas books on the back and no Disney logo, it's just really frustrating for new fans to try to figure out, where do I go from here?
I certainly had a hard time at first. I had to look through so many different websites. I think Utini a lot and some other stuff, because I was like, what is going on? Because I couldn't remember what was what, because I always go to Books and Millions. And at Books and Millions, a lot of the times they have like all the different Old Republic books, of course, Republic Commando, but they also have a lot of Knight Errants, you know? I'm like, is this Disney canon? I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it would be confusing, lacking literally what Disney decided, this is going to mark everything that came before. And then to not include that on one of your prints is just so wild.
Exactly.
And wacky.
I just don't understand how hard it is to make something consistent. Mm-hmm. Obviously, as we've seen from Disney, they're just not really good with consistency. I don't know what that is, but they can't seem to handle that very well, clearly.
Yeah. They definitely struggle with that. I made a video talking about how there's like 5 books that haven't been reprinted with the banner, and like 5 books that are only available in paperback with the banner and weren't printed without. And so for collecting purposes, it's just insanely hard to try to get a OCD like me. I want everything to be the same, and that's like impossible. You know?
Oh yeah, I feel you on there. I'm trying to get all the ones without the Legends banner. I ordered this thinking that this was going to be one without the Legends banner because I was so excited. Oh my gosh. And no, it's not one without the Legends banner. It's one that's half reprinted, half original. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I was in for a real shocker there.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a Legends banner book without the Disney logo, and that's the part that I'm so hung up on. Like, it's always like a little blight on the back of the book almost from my point of view.
Yep.
But instead it's got the LucasBooks logo, which is just kind of insane. Because that's not been used since like forever ago. It's been like a decade now.
Literally. I opened this up backwards. So I was like, yes! I got it without the Legends banner because I've been going on eBay and on Amazon. I've been collecting these. I've been ordering these for like 2 months now, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I've been on such a good streak. I got like Jedi Trial and I think Rogue Planet or something else. I was like, yes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What? We have a problem here. Disney? Hello? Legends banner? LucasBooks? What?
There was clearly a very interesting mix-up, but it led to some laughs for sure.
Indeed.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to get a kick out of this in the community. But before we wrap up the video, Liam's been reading some EU books recently that he's been messaging me about a lot that he's really been enjoying. So I guess before we leave, do you want to talk about the EU that you've recently been reading?
Oh, yes. I think probably the one I want to talk about the most is Dark Force Rising. Oh, man. That book, it is so much fun. I thought Heir to the Empire was amazing. It blew me away, and then it just got better. It gets better. How does it just keep getting better? I thought these books were overrated. I didn't think that it was something that I was going to start out with because, I don't know. People talk a lot about these books. I'm like, they can't be that good. No, they're even better. They're even better than what I thought they would ever be. And it's just, oh my gosh, Timothy Zahn really knows how to capture each character. When I think of Luke Skywalker, he writes Luke Skywalker so well. And Han Solo and Lando. Yep. Han Solo and Lando, I love them so much. They're like my favorite duo.
Yeah.
Oh man,
they're written really well in it, and the original characters are written really well with a lot of life themselves. Your Mara Jade, your Thrawn, your Sabaoth, your Paleon, your what have you from this book just became icons because of how well they were written.
Indeed. I love the relationship between Thrawn and Pelion too. It's always like Pelion doesn't really know what's going to happen because it feels like if he says one thing, it's like Thrawn kind of almost knows how to read Pelion's mind in a way.
Yeah.
He's never really quite sure what Thrawn's next move is because he's always suggesting something and Thrawn's like, well, actually no. And Pelion's like, what? I'm sorry, and then Thrawn just still beats everybody. He's always outsmarting people.
Yeah. Have you started on Last Command yet?
I have not yet because I know everybody is screaming at me to review Heir to the Empire and Dark Force Rising before I read The Last Command. I'm not sure what's going on with The Last Command, but apparently everybody wants to know my thoughts on Mara Jade. I guess
before Last Command.
I guess does she have like some big huge moment in The Last Command that I don't know about?
Yeah, there's some important moments in character development, and I mean it's the last book in a trilogy, so that's where stuff goes down, right? So maybe people want to see what you think of the character progression before that kind of climactic event. Yeah,
that makes sense. Oh man, I do have a couple spoilers for that book, unfortunately. So spoiler warning. I'm gonna reveal the spoilers that I currently know for that book, though. I do know that Thrawn dies. Unfortunately, sad. Thanks, Matt Wilkins. I need to stay off the internet.
Do you know his final quote?
I do not know that though. I don't know.
I will not spoil that. I almost just blurted it out. Which is it's an epic line, one that'll ring like forever in your head. So
I'm excited for that. And then
what other spoiler are you aware of?
The Luke thing, and that's kind of partly everyone's fault though, because everyone always makes the jokes in the server of Brennan or like Brennan, those types of.
Yeah, all the
I
clones.
can't really blame you guys for that. It's funny. I get it.
Yeah. Especially because Zahn wrote an April Fool's Day book where there was Luke with 3 U's.
Oh, really?
It's non-canon. Yeah, it's an April Fool's story, so it's non-canon. But in that, Luke replaced the original
what a mouthful.
Luke. Yeah, a mouthful indeed.
It's such an interesting concept, though. I've always wondered what happened to Luke's hand. That's such an interesting concept.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Plus, there's also some short stories that deal with the retrieval of Luke's hand as well. From the
Really?
Galaxy magazine, yeah, the Emperor's Trophy, it's called, deals with Vader killing people to get the hand back, present it to the Emperor, and then it would find its way all the way until the Thrawn trilogy.
I'll have to look and see which Galaxy magazine that is in particular, because I might hunt that one down.
I think that's 7 or 8, maybe 9.
I think I actually have that one, believe it or not. I might have that one.
It's got Vader on the cover.
I have that one then.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, that's going to be cool to read about.
Go read it, yeah. It's a pretty fun story.
Right after this, I'm going to read that.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying the Thrawn trilogy so much. That's awesome to hear.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think what my favorite moment from Dark Horse Rising is. I really like a lot of the stuff, I guess, between Luke and Mara. I don't know what it is. It's like Mara is so intent on killing Luke and just absolutely obliterating him. And it's so funny because Luke is just so chill about it. Like when Mara was getting attacked by Jorah Sabaoth on Jomark, because she like crash landed and she was getting like hit by rocks and stuff. She pops back up. See Luke's coming along. He sees Jorah and Mara standing there. He's like, "Oh, hi Mara, what's up?" Just no, he doesn't even question why she's here. It's just so random, and he's like
nonchalant. Yep. He's just like he's at the point of power where he's like, I don't mind. I know what her deal is. But I actually, well, as you're seeing, he's starting to grow closer to her as the story progresses. So.
I'm so excited to see once they start getting into that romance. I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Also, interesting character. I really like Borsk Phalia.
Oh yeah, very important later on is all I will say.
Very, very, very cool character. He's kind of like the side antagonist of the story. Very, very, very interesting.
Schemes on top of schemes with that guy.
Oh yeah, he's always trying to blame Akbar for something.
Yep. He's going to come into play very significantly later on, so you're going to like his character as it progresses. He's very interesting.
I think Han, if he were given the chance, he'd probably try to beat him down. he really does not like Borsk, from what I've observed. Nope. He really hates him.
I hate him too, but in like a good way, because he's written so well that you just can't stand him and you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a shifty little fella.
And of course, Leia has the genius idea. She uses her Jedi powers, which she doesn't really know how to use very well, but she flips on the intercom, and so she gets everyone from Borsk Phalia's side who were so loyal to him. They're all teaming up with Leia now. They all go get the Katana fleet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, Garn Bella Bliss shows up as well, and everyone else. It's like every single character up until this point just shows up at the end. It's so cool.
The gang's all here. Yep. It's incredibly well written, and it's a good structure to the trilogy and to each book. Each book stands alone is pretty good.
Indeed.
It's definitely a fantastic saga. One that I think only gets better as the Bantam books keep going on all the way till New Jedi Order,
So I have one question. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but why does everybody hate the Crystal Star? Because I'm kind of nervous for when I get to that point. Because everyone tells me it's like one of the worst Star Wars books. If you could just sum it up in just like a few words. maybe.
Crystal Star was written by a Star Trek author. I'm a big fan of Star
Oh,
Trek, but she primarily wrote Star Trek, so she has some wacky sci-fi stuff in there. For example, there may or may not be a dragon in the book.
a dragon?
There may or may not be centaurs in the book. There may
That's
or
like
may not be,
fantasy. That's borderline fantasy.
yeah,
Like fantasy, right?
borderline fantasy, very much so. And there may or may not be a sentient silicon-based pile of goo that serves as one of the primary antagonists. So
What?
it's kind of out there, but that might make you more excited for it. I don't know.
That just sounded
I don't
so
think it's
ridiculous.
bad. I kind of like it.
From what I've heard Matt talking about it, he says it's. I think he said in his top 10 like worst EU novels, he said it is so bad that it's hilarious. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's bad in the most entertaining way possible. Oh, how could I not mention werewolves? There's lots of good stuff in this book. Yeah.
Wow.
And there's layers to them. Alien werewolves. It's fun stuff. And believe it or not, I've not spoiled really anything about the plot. Like there is a lot to unpack about this book.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't really have. It's not that significant in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's fun. It's like dumb fun. You know what I mean? Like it's like the trashy movie that's not good, but it's like a guilty pleasure because you really enjoy the cheesiness of it. Like Ghost Rider. It's like Ghost Rider, the movie with Nicolas Cage for me.
I think the only other book I'm super uber excited for is actually a book that I'm going to be rereading, and that's Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah,
I love this book too. I can't like I can't decide if I like this better than the Thrawn trilogy. I mean, I've still not read The Last Command yet, so the opinion could change. But this book, I don't know how to put it to words. Matthew Stover is quickly becoming my favorite Star Wars author.
Yeah, top 3 for me.
The man is an absolute genius with what he does with Anakin, with basically everybody in this book. He completely like rewrites the whole story and makes it his own. It is so much better than the movie.
He elevates the movie.
Indeed. Oh my gosh.
I wonder if a part of it was he's been before critical about those prequel movies. So I wonder if he read the script and he's like, nah, I'm not writing this. And then he like started writing his own story, but like having to make sure it was consistent with the script.
Of course, the dialogue for the movies. A lot of people love to hate on George's dialogue, and I mean, I'll give him some credit. He does have some pretty bad moments here and there. But the dialogue in this book, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love the scene
with Palpatine's arrest.
Oh my
so well.
gosh,
it's brutal too. It's brutal.
That freaking blew my mind when I read it for the first time. It's like when you see the villain finally win and get their way, you see their plan unfolding. It's like the mastermind. Oh my gosh, he's gonna absolutely obliterate them, and he did. It completely. So it was so much gorier than the movie. It was so much more. It was almost unexpected in a way. I knew it was going to happen, but the way that he kills, I think, is it Saesee Tiin? I think is the first one that goes down.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's so sudden you don't even realize it's happened. All of a sudden he's dead. The next moment, freaking I can't
Agent
think of his name. Yes, he goes down, and all of a sudden, Kit Fisto decapitated. What? And then the smile on his face. That is just freaky on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And of course the battle with him and Mace Windu, the whole Shatterpoint of everything, bring it back to Shatterpoint. Oh. I think probably one of my sorry I'm like pulling my hair a lot. I do that when I get excited about things.
Yeah, well, it's a great book.
I think probably my favorite scene from that book is probably the one that gets memed the most. I don't know. There's a lot of memes from that movie. It's when Anakin gets denied the rank of master. He just absolutely explodes, and he kind of describes throughout the book how Anakin has like this dragon like furnace type thing in his heart that just keeps growing bigger and bigger. He goes off on Mace Windu. Then he's thinking in his head, perhaps I'll take yours. That seeing a little bit of Darth Vader there. It's really, really good. Oh my gosh.
It's very interesting the way it's written, and it's scary. It's genuinely scary.
Very scary. Oh my gosh. It was such a this was honestly this could be titled as like a thriller genre. It really could.
And even though you've seen the movie, you're still like, waiting to know what's going to happen next.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that was going to happen. Oh my gosh, even though you've seen the movie, it's like, there's just so much packed into this. It is probably the best novel I've read so far from the Expanded Universe. Although, to be fair, I've not read a whole lot. I'm sure once I get to New Jedi Order, my my opinion will probably change a little bit, but man, this book, I think, even after I've read all the EU, at the very least, I think this is probably going to still remain in my top 10. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, a terrific book. I'm so glad you've been enjoying enjoying the EU as much as you have. It's been really cool to see how much you've read since the beginning, where you'd only read Dawn of the Jedi.
Oh my gosh!
But not to open that can of worms, because we'll be here for another 48 hours and 17 minutes if we want to dissect and unpack that.
Pull my hair when I get stressed too, and I get stressed thinking about Dawn of the Jedi.
So hair-related pulling when you're stressed reading Dawn of the Jedi, and out of excitement when you're reading Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, you see this? This is brain leaking. Oh my gosh, that book.
So bad. I'm sorry I brought it up. But yeah, it's been really cool to see you read all the Expanded Universe books you have by this point. Thanks for sharing what you've been enjoying about them. And thank you very much for sharing a very interesting misprint. That was very interesting to see.
Indeed.
So I appreciate you taking the time to take a look at that with me and share your thoughts on what you've been reading.
Hey, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. And in the next 5 months or so, when you've read more, we'll do it again.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I'm sure I plan on just going through and reading. So I'm sure I'll probably have at least 20 books read by then. I don't know. No, I'm not going to make promises there, but, I'll probably have read a little bit.
And go check out Liam's channel. It'll be linked in the description. He will have reviews on there as he's
currently working on Heir to the Empire review.
Very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
In the middle of recording, I have a little bit of it recorded.
Nice.
So it should be out hopefully sometime soon.
Hopefully. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So thank you all for watching. Let us know in the comments if you've seen any misprint like Shatterpoint, where it's half Legends Banner, half old, kind of a weird merging. And let us know what you think of the books that Liam's been reading. We'll see you next time.
Bye.